Welcome back, everybody. We have returned once again to continue on with our entertainments for you all. This portion, we're going to be getting into our filler review as a baseline score sort of idea of the SpyderCo Paramilitary 2, or PM2.
Yeah. We're setting a bar. We're putting one in that's just going to always be there. Everyone knows what the PM2 is. Everyone's handled it, so we're just going to throw up that score. I guess it counts for something, but it's just to show people kind of the standard of where we put an average on knives type of idea, right? So, yeah. And on Justin's note, by the way, that means I'm the only one that's still getting paid, by the way, just for no reference again on the comments. So,
not
good stuff.
I'm not okay with
He's
that.
the pimp.
I don't like that connotation.
Me neither.
Then why'd you say it, Nigel?
Next review.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know. Because it's what I do.
For the record, we're not, strictly speaking, reviewing the serrated version of the PM2. That's just the version I have up because I never see them in the wild.
No, you don't. Do they make a lefty
That's
version?
A lot of serration.
Of a PM2? I'm pretty sure they do.
Of a fully serrated version.
Oh,
Please
probably.
tell me that you're going to get yourself a lefty PM2 full serration. That's so weird. I like it.
Well, no, my follow-up question was I guarantee that it's not just $20 more. It's probably $40 more because it's fully serrated, so there's more work. So they're double overcharging for us lefty sons of bitches. Anyway, on to the review.
Yeah.
Who's going first?
You know what? Let's rip the Band-Aid off. I'll go first.
You went first last time, didn't you?
I sure did, and I'm gonna do it. I'll fucking do it again.
I was gonna say what needs to come first is the spoiler score, because that's what should come first. Is the score that's been spoiled.
Fair enough.
It's a good way to start if you think about what the score is.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Let's do it up.
But yeah, so we can toss my score up. Of course, it disappeared on me.
It's okay. I threw it up, so maybe it'll appear on your screen in a few seconds.
Cool. But yeah, if you were watching along with the last episode, got my scores kind of mixed up there and revealed the SpyderCo score a little preemptively.
Flashed it.
It was the 69.
Flashing the 69.
What was that, Paul?
Nice.
He's flashing the 69.
Oh yeah.
Real nice.
It's a good way to start. It's a good way to start.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
And from there, we could go up or down, or up or down,
or right in the middle.
Or yeah. And then slightly faster up and down and up. No, sorry.
So saving us from that,
please.
On the objective side, I gave it 8s and 9s right across the board.
Oh yes. Just make him suffer. Make him suffer a little bit more.
Listen, you son of a bitch. I'm gonna cut you right across the board in a second here.
Creative. I like it.
Yeah, objectively, nothing to complain about. Fit and finish and cost versus materials are both pretty nice. As always, there's some little discrepancies, but it's not a major price point, so it's easy to overlook what is there. It really excels with the cutting ability because, man, those things are slicey.
Yep.
Thin-ass blades and fine edges on them for sure.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Yep. And lock-up and actuation, despite my feelings on the compression lock, it's actually really nice. It is fun to play with and all that jazz. So yeah, got a good score. And of course, the personal side is where it tanks for me. Material choice, going off of the baseline kind of standard one with the G10 and S30V. Yeah, decent middle of the round material choices, so nothing wrong with that. Aesthetically, don't overly like them. I usually do find the giant hump from the Spidey hole fairly awkward, so I'm not a fan of the Spidey hump.
Not everyone is.
Pocket
The
ergonomic.
Spidey hump.
Hmm?
The Spidey hump. Yeah. Episode 2,
Oh, yeah,
hashtag Spidey hump.
It's a throwback.
Pocket ergos, it did pretty good. The G10 can be fairly aggressive, and it is fairly wide because of the Spidey hump. So that's why I gave it a 7. But other than that, it does fit in fairly nicely. Ergonomic preference, I gave it a 5 because it is fairly comfy in hand, but it gets into that point, or gets into the situation of gripping the knife. It tends to camp forward and point too much. And yeah, I don't like that style of a grip. I prefer just more of a straight handle, like baseball bat sort of grip. So it is comfy, but not what I like. And enthusiasm, it's a compression lock. I am never, ever going to own one, no matter how nice the knife is. I hate compression locks so very much.
What if it's a lefty version that's fully serrated? You know, maybe they're onto something here. Like,
Terrible.
I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking.
Okay,
why not? It's hella fun.
Would the lefty version change your score on enthusiasm at least?
Probably not, no, because I still don't like the ergos of them and stuff like that.
Fair enough.
Like, it might a little bit, but like a 3 or 4 maybe.
All right. Fair enough.
I understand the appeal. I understand the appeal as a southpaw, even though I am not a southpaw. Yeah, but I'm kind of with Nigel.
Aren't you a southpaw?
Or sorry, no. Even though the knife's not a southpaw knife.
Yeah.
I understand the compression thingy. So yeah. See, I say ridiculous things too. It's not just the artisan rep.
So
context.
Nope, we don't need it.
I think anybody who's watched those videos knows exactly what's being talked about, and I don't think we need to discuss it any further.
Nope.
Next review.
Yeah. I'll go. So keeping in mind that I do own 2 militaries, and I own 0 PM2s. I'm going to say something twice to make Dennis mad.
It's going to happen more than twice. I know it with this goddamn conversation that's about to happen.
So,
like, I'm just turning my volume down. So
I was...
No, I'm not even kidding.
Halfway...
You guys are so low right now, I can't hear shit.
Good stuff. Fantastic. As I was scoring this, I went back and made sure that I really did feel this way about every point, and I really had to think about it. But quite literally, objectively, across the board, PM2 gets an 8. And personally, across the board, PM2 gets 7s. It's a B- for me.
Across the board.
Actually across the board. 2 separate sections, 2 separate boards, but it's okay, because it's still across the board.
Right across both of them.
Both of them. Absolutely.
I'm picking apart your score. Don't mind me.
Oh, yeah. So
I'm not done yet. So far, objectively, I'll give it to you. Personal.
Okay.
Continue on. I'll be back on that.
Okay, fair enough. So objectively, it's a really solid knife. There's a reason why there's so many goddamn variations with so many different kinds of steels. It's a popular knife. It's a good seller for SpyderCo. It's easy to actuate. They're great cutters. They feel relatively comfortable in the hand. Personally, I won't say it tanked, but it's S30V and G10. Yeah, it's not the thing I'm going to get the most excited about, but it's not as if I don't already own a lot of S30V and G10 that I am excited about. Aesthetics.
I like how you put up the smock like it's pretending to be carbon fiber.
It's not carbon. Yeah.
That's awesome. By the way, that's awesome.
But as far as like, I don't know. It's just such a meh. This is an okay knife experience for me. I can't really get excited about it. The reason why I own 2 militaries is because this feels much more comfortable in hand to me than the PM2 ever did. And I will say the only reason that this got an 8 instead of a 9 for cutting ability is because I did score the Smock a 9. And the Smock is hollow ground. It is thinner behind the edge than the PM2, but they're still great cutters.
You set your bar type of idea.
Yeah,
right?
And I still love the cutting performance of these blades. They're absolutely fantastic. For me, the biggest wavering point was ergonomic preference. I actually find the PM2 fairly uncomfortable in hand in particular grips, but in other grips it's extremely comfortable. So I'll highlight in the picture here, wave around with my mouse.
Is it the baseball bat versus pistol versus probably reverse because you're weird like that?
No, it's not even so much reverse. It's more in this equivalent grip in the PM2, there's a kind of a protruding, nubbiny sort of thing right at this part of the finger choil here, right next to my scar. Paul has it right there. And then on the butt end, right towards the back here, on the military, it's more of a sweep, but it's a little bit more pointed on the PM2. And in a grip like this, where I'm putting my thumb forward and my finger not in the forward choil, it actually bites on the back end. And then if I come forward, with my thumb on the side, it hurts more up here. So it's actually uncomfortable in those 2 particular grips. But I acknowledge that I am not in the majority here. Most people do like the way it feels in hand, and it feels perfectly comfortable. And those issues are mitigated almost entirely by having your hand like that, right up next to the forward choil. And no problems there at all. So yeah, I think it's a solid piece. It's just, it's probably not something I'm ever going to own.
I think the large majority of tasks, that's where your finger replacement probably should be. You bet, my friend, choked up on that blade. Yeah, in that finger choil. I think behind the actual like guard type of thing in the back grip, Paul, if you want. Yeah, I don't think that's as natural. I really don't.
No.
And I think that's where your military wins, is in that grip. But because of the choke up grip, and the military doesn't have it, but it doesn't need it because it's fucking long ass. Yeah, it just points where you want it to point type of knife.
Yeah.
So.
And I can only grip it in that choked up grip. It's not comfy or functional in any way if I'm not choked up.
And I think that's why XL's hands and XL Plus still enjoy the PM2, is because that really is the most natural way, in my opinion, at least, to hold that. So I don't necessarily argue with any of your personal side of things either. I was I was trying to so hard. There's a couple things that I'm just like, I don't know, material choice. I don't know where you set your bar anymore, man. Like, it's seriously G10 slabs that are square as fuck with a slab ass 30 gets a 7. What the hell impresses you? Like,
well, you're saying
I'm just a dick right
now. Should it impress me? I mean, the counter milling for the liners is a nice touch. Okay, I will say.
Okay, the compression lock, because of what it takes to make a compression lock, you bet it scores points, because I give credit for the strength of a compression lock. I think there is a lot to be had with that mechanism for sure. Yeah. Yep. So.
And I was even saying today, after looking at the PM2s we had on the shelf, I'm like, fuck, I really wish I liked these knives more. Because they're so much fun to play with. There's a ton of variety out there. I could find one in my steel of choice. So, like, yeah, I really wish I liked the platform more. But anyway, I don't know if I actually gave my letter score, but it's B-.
There's no shortage. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, just saying that my letter score was a B- at 75. I don't know if I actually said that or not, but yeah.
And I was about to say, just there's no shortage of variations of PM2s. So even though the stock model might not do it for you, oh my goodness! Like, pick a steel, pick a handle. I mean, most of the handles are G10. They're just different colors. I got be honest with you. You don't get much handle variation.
No, the one caveat that actually does come to mind was that S45 limited run that they did with the kind of like crescent checkered grip. That thing actually felt extremely comfortable in hand, and I am kicking myself for not just grabbing it.
Let's skip ahead a little bit, and some news that I discovered that I don't know if we just misread this or whatever, but the Crewwear Micarta PM2 is not a sprint run.
Oh,
It's a regular release.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of a
I'm
cool
gonna own one of
thing.
those.
Even though SpyderCo is still kind of lackluster on the variation type of thing, it is kind of cool that that's not just a run of the mill. Apparently, your ugly ass red Phoenix is the only thing that is a sprint run this year. So.
well, we'll talk about that later.
Next episode.
Next
Paul,
review.
you went last the last time, so why don't you go and I'll go last this time?
All right. So, where's my score? There's me.
Oh, look at you, Monk.
I gave it a 79, which is a B. I had it scored higher. I'm not like PM2 fanboy in the sense like I don't own a dozen different variations, but I like this knife. As far cost versus materials, fit and finish. I mean, the one thing I will say is they're not all drop shetty. They need a little bit of work.
Most of them are pretty good, but every once in a while you definitely get a dud. Yeah, for sure. And it seems like SpyderCo is almost going through a phase right now where they're more duddy than they are goody. I'm going to go with it right now. Why not? But yeah.
I like that.
There has been years where every single one of them you pick up just swings like nobody's business, right? So, yeah.
Cutting ability, it gets high marks, 9. Like Nigel said, it's big old leaf-shaped blade, full flat grind. There was a number of years where I have said that I don't like hollow grinds. The SpyderCo Swayback is slowly changing my mind on that. But my opinion was that these full flat grind is just as slicey. And I'm wrong, but it's not far off as far as a nice slicey knife.
I think the big argument is like stability, durability behind the edge, things like that. I think a flat is still kind of got that covered, whereas a hollow still probably
Definitely.
lacks
I think you're
stability, just
probably
overall
onto something there,
geometry,
yeah.
right? So yeah,
Probably a good trade, right? Ergonomic execution, I gave it an 8 because there are folks out there like Nigel whose hands won't fit this thing quite properly or really don't like that kind of saber forward pointy grip. Based off of other knives in my collection, apparently I'm into that kind of thing. And specifically with the paramilitary, the military, the PM3, a number of SpyderCo's offerings with the jimped spine as well as the jimped finger choil, you get a lot of control with that knife. Like, it's very precise what you can do with it.
yeah, native is the one that
Oh,
comes to mind
yeah.
for myself. Hey, look at you, you copycat. You owned yours first.
Here's another knife that you owned first, I think.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that one's kind of an ugly leaf-shaped blade, which is we're going to get into later with SpyderCo.
Yeah.
Material choice, I gave it an 8, specifically because if you don't like how it comes from the factory, there are options.
There
sprint
are
runs,
options.
there's variants, there's aftermarket
Let
out
me-
the ass.
That's kind of, whoa, by the way, whoa. But that's kind of cheating to say that you're giving material choice an 8 because there's all the variations and you're not just scoring the knife because you happen to have a purple one in your hand that's got phenomenal steel on it.
It sure does.
Yeah, I'm calling you out on that one for sure. That's a cheaty answer.
Sure is.
Sure is. That's all you got. That's all you got for a comeback.
I balanced it out by saying the aesthetics. It's a 5. This thing is not. It is the cyber truck of the knife world. It's not a pretty thing.
Mm.
It's functional. It's probably not. There's that, what is it, the QB or whatever that came out. Kubi. Anyways, I digress.
Hey, look at those variations. Jesus, that's pretty. Anyway.
It is an ugly knife that performs. Like I was saying in the Roselle review, there's the difference between a pretty knife and a useful one. And this combination is super useful.
And I'm pretty sure that Mr. Fisk commented in the first video that we could turn that into a Roselle pretty easily from what I hear.
That's true, yeah.
Right?
I'll just stab it into something and break off the tip. Regrind it?
Some light batoning.
It's S110, just to give it a good whack.
No. It makes me sad.
Don't worry about it.
Pocket ergos, I gave it a 7 specifically because it's a fairly wide knife, and out of box from factory, they have a pretty rough texture, and that will absolutely destroy your pockets. So much so that I took the time to polish out the G10 on mine because the ergos on this thing are so good, which leads me into my next point. My ergos are a 10 because there's not a way that I can't grab this knife that's not comfortable. Every single grip on this thing feels good to me.
So the moral of the story is, if
my enthusiasm is 7.
If you have
because as much as apparently, my enthusiasm is a 7, which sounds strange considering my ergonomic preference and things like that. But as much as I like the fact that you can get a PM2 in every variation, it's a PM2 in every goddamn variation. Give me something new.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there.
That's fair.
Fair enough.
I see. All right. I guess I'm last, eh?
Looks like it.
I mean, You did say that you were going to go last.
Well, and sometimes you like to finish with a 69, and I wanted to, finish, but it got one more. It was just worth one more point in my mind. It's,
Just wanted to finish, eh?
It's a 69 with one more. I don't know what that means.
I had to keep it going a little bit longer. So, yeah. So the objective side of things, it's a PM2. It cuts pretty good. Fit and finish overall is pretty good, even though I've seen burnt blades on a couple different variations because Colorado is not perfect. Taiwan still seems to be doing the best work.
Look, man, they're getting a little stoned and grinding blades. Give them a break.
Yeah, it's Colorado. Everything's legal. Well, it's not quite Seattle, but anyway, it's.
There you go.
Oh no.
Lock up an actuation again with the 9. Ergo's 9. Most people like it, whether it's a choked up grip, whether it's a backwards grip, or a choked back grip. I don't know. Anyway, seems like everyone seems to like that grip. Personal side of things is where it kind of tanked again for me. Materials, realistically speaking, slabs of G10 and S30 get a 6. That's what they get. That's what all you sons of bitches should give that score. You should question if you gave it higher than that.
No. Hold on now. For me, 7 is a passing grade. It's adequate, and I somewhat enjoy it. 6 for me is more like a meh.
What did you score the Roselle with 8CR?
What did I score the Roselle? I closed that.
I don't even know.
I can't even remember.
Anyway.
I'm
just talking smack at this point. Aesthetically, it took me so many years to like SpyderCo, and the big reason is because the PM2 is a flagship, and I do not like the look of that model.
It's a little hideous, isn't it?
For many, many years, I was not able to get over the fact that you just looked like one of the mad spy versus spy characters. There's been references even about it, and that's the first thing I saw. And so, yeah. Pocket ergos, I struggled at a 6. I wanted to give it lower. I really did. But I have scored some other things lower than that that are way tankier in the pocket. So realistically, I had to give it its credit. It's a little wide. But yeah.
That's actually one other YouTuber. oh, I want to say it's Metal Complex, but someone else talks about, oh, and for comparison, as far as closed in the pocket, with the profile that no one ever seems to complain about, and he says that every single time he brings out his PM2s to compare against, and the first time he said that, I'm like, yeah, you're right, no one complains about it, but that's super weird. It is kind of a wide knife, yeah.
Compared to your Smock or an Osborne or
Yeah.
every other Benchmade out there.
Hey, I have an Adamas kicking around here somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Pocket ergos. I think we nailed it on the head. Everyone kind of likes that grip. Yes, I like the military more. I'm with Joe. I think part of it is the lightweight because of how minimal the subframe is on that thing, even though it's right hand tip down only, which it would also get a very low score if we were scoring that knife for, right? But ultimately, the enthusiasm is a 2. It's never going to be more than that. It's a PM2, and it made me really dislike SpyderCos for a long time because compression locks, like Nigel dabbled on, aesthetics, like everyone else has dabbled on. There's a reason that my SpyderCos are not shaped like a PM2. I have natives, and I have Sleece Bowies, and I have subverts, and I have weird SpyderCos, right? Fixed blades.
I have both.
So anyway, that's my score. Ended out with a 70.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah. So there we are. Gonna plug in that data now.
Yeah, you will.
I don't like that.
I'm curious. There was some very polarizing scores on this one. So
I'm waiting to watch Justin have a coronary in chat when it scores low.
Dennis, 70. Man, was I the most charitable? No, there's Paul.
Charitable.
Well, when you do the same thing over and over for this long. Anyway. That's a rant for a later video.
I think for me, and note as well, is I truly believe that like a 70 is where a PM2 belongs as far as my own personal scoring. I can't count for everyone else, but when I looked at that knife and like the 75 that you gave it, I think, Joe, or whatever type of thing, where you're like, no, that's about where a PM2 goes. It's not a blow you away knife, but it's not like a 58 whatever knife. It's somewhere in that, just kind of nice, solid, whatever.
Nice, solid, whatever. I like that.
If you buy one, you will not be disappointed with it as in how it functions.
It is kind of a knife where it's exactly what it claims to be, exactly what it is on the tin, right?
Yeah.
You don't get a tin.
Well, no. Actually, the last knife I bought with a tin was a Rough Rider.
I think yours is a fake, Joe.
Well, I own a PM2. I gotta go through my collection again and see what else I missed. No, I know.
If it came in a tin, it's a fake, man.
It's from...
Oh,
yeah.
And then I died.
Oh, well, don't do that. We still got to go over the overall scoring. Speaking of which, yeah. Oh, there we go. It falls in at place number 36. Its average score is 73.25.
Oh, I love that the Odeon beat it. I love that the Odeon beat it.
Yeah, I noticed. I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny, actually.
It beat the Kapara. Huh.
Yeah, by a whole point.
The overall score?
I would not have guessed that.
Well...
Oh, carbon fiber for pushing $300, though. That's the big difference.
Yeah.
And Nigel probably scored it low for ergonomics because the Kapara is probably weird for him. I'm just taking a wild shot in the dark on that one. Yeah.
Actually, and that is something I said in the shop earlier today, but I would take home a Kapara long before I took home a PM2 in the standard configuration.
Where does it end up on the board now, Nigel? Like what number is it at?
It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, It's number 7 on the board for the year so far.
It's not bad.
Fair enough.
I'm disappointed Justin's not more upset by our scores.
Has he said anything? I haven't even looked.
Nope.
Oh, he's just in shock. There you go.
So for this year, just to throw some stats, because whatever, it's number 4 out of everything that we've reviewed this year. Because the Gareth Bull, the EB, the Odium, and then the PM2, right?
Yeah.
Because the Crooked River, the Manly Wasp, and the Jet were the last year's.
Benchmade carbon fiber bug out.
Oh, that's the bug. Oh, sorry, I thought that was the Crooked River. It's small font, but my
Yeah,
bad.
but we got
So 5,
So
not
1,
4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't really make
I'm
it
just
out.
looking back at my own score for the Outlast. Oof.
Would
Give
you
that
like to
thing
take
an
that back?
87.
Would you like to take that back?
Well, I was pretty gung ho that I was going to buy that knife, and I haven't yet.
We've got
So-
a guest. We've got a guest.
Oh goodness.
Hello.
Got to go back to full screen for this.
How's she
Hold that on the
doing?
screen for this.
She looks a little
Yes,
sleepy.
Ebony is dope.
How's she doing?
How's she doing?
She's pretty conked out.
Could see her
She's
little
pretty,
face.
she's pretty lethargic right now. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no fighting, no
Had to
crying,
go in for
no
some
car.
dental surgery.
she did have.
5 teeth.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Aw,
Yeah.
poor kitty. All drugged up now.
Kitty.
I just want to say thanks to Justin for giving me what I was looking for in chat. 73.25. I demand a recount.
find
Find more
votes. Oh boy. All right. I'm not gonna.
Woof.
Silly Ebony.
I stupidly moved the cans out of the garage and did not check the messages.
Oh.
Bye bye, Ebony. Bye, Erica.
Bye, Erica.
At least Dennis was wearing pants this time.
This time? Was I
missed
not
all-
here for that
I
time?
missed all of your garbage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I kind
We'll
of
tell her
figured.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll watch
We didn't
the
need you here for it.
Friday video.
Is that what it takes? Yeah, okay.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. Is the civilian a PM2 handle with a matriarch blade, basically?
No,
Or
no,
it's like-
it's like a police handle. I'm pretty sure.
No, it's
Isn't
an
it?
Endura handle. Come on.
No, that's the
Come on,
matriarch.
people.
Matriarchs,
No, 'cause I thought
matriarchs,
it was
Endura.
G10.
Yeah, the civilian.
The civilian is a police. Yeah, maybe you're right. Civilian is a police model. The matriarch is an Endura model.
Oh, maybe not. Okay, so it is a backlock. It's got a butt end more similar to the military,
okay.
actually. So it's its own thing. I don't know why I thought police.
Oh, it's definitely its own thing. That's weird. It's almost a military, but not quite.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
I might just get a fully serrated PM2.
That's a
Seems
trap.
like a silly thing.
I'm pretty sure we got another break where I get paid and you suckers don't. So, yeah.
Hey, I want money.
That's a valid
Only
argument.
it works that way. Yeah?
It's not going to get you anywhere. So,
Ah, shoot.
You just hold your breath and you let us know how that works out for you.
Oh, like a toddler throwing a temper tantrum. Just hold your breath until you get your way, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going with that.
Exactly.
Because that works.
So, as we're trying to save ourselves from Joe's tantrum this time instead of Dennis's like we did last week, we're going to head off onto a break. Make sure you empty out your bladders, refill your drinks in the appropriate orders, and we shall return shortly with everyone. See you soon.
Yeah.